both paused at 5 seconds, so when you get to 5,
All right.
you're good. All right, so hey everybody, welcome back to the stream here. We're going into Game 3. This is Georgia Tech versus Wentworth Institute of Technology. This is an awesome series so far. We've got Wentworth taking Game 1 pretty convincingly, holding that advantage the whole time. Georgia Tech taking Game 2, that small advantage, pushing forward. I am Frank, with me is Spuddington. We are casting the CSL games. If you guys don't know, now you know. There is some college esports happening up in this business every week here on this stream. Wednesday and Thursday, 5 p.m. PST. Thanks go out to Azubu for sponsoring this. They have been awesome for us. If you guys don't know, check them out, www.azubu.com, and follow them at facebook.com/Azubu Media. We're going to be heading into this game as soon as Nick Salidesu so rocks forward here and gives us that countdown.
All right.
Well,
2, 3, 4, 5.
all right, so we're ready to rock. All right, so down in the bottom left, we have being led here by, and I'm only going to say led by CS Steve because he's in chat right now on Maokai. Going to be Wentworth versus Georgia Tech at the top right. You want to take a look at these teams here, Spuddington?
Yeah, right now, compositions that I'm seeing going on. I'm seeing much less AoE focus than last game. Neither side really has quite the same level of AoE. I mean, there's a bit of AoE going on with the Graves and the Gragas ultimates, but it's more focused on kind of splitting your opponents up and picking them off one by one. And you can see that in the Kassadin and the Maokai picks. Mobility is essentially the name of the game here. The mobility and picking people off. And we're actually seeing right now there's going to be a jungle invasion. Looks like they're circling around via the bot lane, heading towards red buff. Tater and the Case, meanwhile, are kind of hanging around in probably the safest bush for them right now. It may be that they've seen this coming. Having Tarek on your team makes it quite likely that you are going to invade, especially when you also have Lee Sin. You have a lot of level 1 burst and a lot of level 1 CC.
This is so tense. They were looped around back, and actually Ezreal and Nunu both had the options of going through that brush, but I think they just chose not to. They didn't see anything, but they just chose not to go in there, and now they're taking the long way around here, working their way down to that bottom lane here, and they're just going to very safely get there. But wow, that was really, really a tense moment here. Now kind of stacking up those saplings. He's going to take down this camp pretty quickly here, but Probo on Lee Sin is going to go ahead and counter jungle this Wraith camp, and then most likely take the red. Also, I'm assuming we're going to see a very, very quick gank, level 2 happening here, but Nunu very smartly putting in a ward into that tri-brush where typically you wouldn't, but he does do so, and that's really going to help out in the fact that, like I said, Lee Sin's probably going to be heading down here. Dejo and Shizoli are spotted out here. Now they know for sure that they are coming from that direction. There's Lee Sin getting spotted out, and they're going to just back up here. They safely make their way back around here, and definitely Georgia Tech knows that that brush is warded now.
Yeah, they also know that Lee Sin has started there, so they can know that he isn't going to be at his own red anytime soon. And you can see that's there. See Steve heading straight into his jungle. But knowing that fact is actually allowing Jewel Bagel to look for a revenge attack here, and actually Flash Probo using his slow down onto CS Steve. He's going to be ignited, and he's going to go down with a level 1 blue buff for Chrysanthos on Gragas. And Gragas is a very mana-hungry character early on. He is going to be liking that buff.
Yeah, that's going to be brutal for Kassadin to deal with, who Kassadin typically does actually pretty well against Gragas, but at this point, yeah, for sure, all that extra mana, like I said in Game 1, actually, Gragas kind of has that built-in kind of blue buffy thing where he's got that W, he gets a lot of mana back from that every couple of seconds, so not bad to pair up with the blue buff at this early in the game, and that advantage with that kill, but that's going to be a great start there. Probo heading top lane as well. He's going to be hunting down this Aurelia. And with the dash forward, is that going to put her in a bad position? No, she's backing up here. I think she's going to go for another dash, and that's going to spell doom for her if she goes for it. No, I don't know if she's got that second sense about her, but she looks like she's playing extremely passively here, not really taking too much CS. There's the dash. That's the signal to go here. Gets the slow. Lee Sin jumping in there with the Q. The axe is going to miss, though, and that's going to be not enough slow, essentially, stacked up for them to be able to pick up that kill. Chrysanthos is going to be able to pick up this Wraith camp because he has that blue buff, so all these advantages happening super quickly, and now a gank potentially happening bottom lane as well.
Dear Steve has been spotted here, and it's not so likely to happen because they don't actually have any hard CC in their lane. They don't have that Taric to set up a gank for them. And yes, Nunu does have the slow, and it's a very strong slow, and it will last quite a lot, and he can reapply it usually. But it's not quite the same in terms of being the perfect setup for Maokai to then dash in, flash in, you know, do a lot of damage very quickly. Meanwhile, Chrysanthos actually taking a lot of damage in mid from Kassadin. I wonder what's going on there.
Kassadin actually used his Ignite as well. I think he thought he was going to get the kill there. He was trying to line up some more damage with his slow and his silence there, but Chrysanthos really got away there with a pretty decent amount of health. He had about 300 HP. I don't know why decided to dedicate so strongly towards that one, but now he's going to be down in Ignite, and that's never going to be a bad thing. Another blue buff. It looks like potentially going to be handed off here. It's being... No, bottom lane is being pinged. I thought that was actually blue buff being pinged, but no, the blue buff will run out on Chrysanthos, and Lee Sin deciding to pick up his own blue to give himself that extra experience bonus over Maokai, which Maokai level 3 right now, Probo halfway to level 5, so really sizable advantage with that early steal and the kill happening early on as well.
Maokai is a very blue buff dependent jungler. Without it, and without actually landing that many successful ganks early on, he's really going to start to fall behind, and his main strength as a character is early game. If he doesn't get this good early game, these many ganks off right now, he's gonna not fall off. He's not going to be completely worthless, but he's going to be less relevant as the game goes on, especially if you compare him to, well, someone like Amumu, who honestly, his strength starts at level 6.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, we had a lot of aggression happening bottom lane here. Ezreal got jumped on, he got taken down a little bit below half health, was forced to use some potions there, so he's now sitting on 0 potions versus Dead Joe on Graves, he's got 2 potions. And the tankiness combined here with Tarik's W, and there we go, the slide forward after the stun with the Shatter is going to be even more damage, and Tater Tot doesn't have the mana or the HP potions to stick himself in lane here, and Probo is coming behind. He's going to work his way up through the brush. I don't know if Shizoli, maybe if he gives him somebody to jump to here, it's going to maybe not have Lee Sin spotted for so long that they notice it. I don't know what he's going to do here. He's just going to take the advantage of that creep going down, pushes forward. Lots of pings going off. Gragas has been heading down there as well, and so many characters have been spotted by this Tribrush ward. It's absolutely essential, it's seeming like, for both teams to have a ward in that try.
Worth noting right now though, Shizoli does have flash up. He could make a flash Taric play, and I don't know, Ezreal does actually have just enough mana for an Arcane Shift, and they aren't going to dive this. They are, however, going to put a lot of pressure on the tower itself, zoning them out from a lot of creeps here. This is quite painful to miss out on this amount of XP and gold, and that's just going to put them further behind in the lane against Graves and Taric. It's going to make it even harder for them to deal with it, actually dicing with death there, just avoiding a resonating strike.
Yeah, this is kind of crazy, actually. They're just completely zoning out the Ezreal and the Nunu, which kind of seems silly because they're going to be splitting XP between the 3 of them now, but it's a lot better of a situation than just splitting no XP between these 2 characters down here. So Kassadin is going to be forced to come down, and it's, I think, a little bit too late now, as Graves has hit that level 5, and he's very close to level 6 versus Tater Tot, who's just barely hitting level 5 now. He's going to finally be able to farm up here, but this turret might go down just a creep damage, and yes, it will. So that's going to be a turret there in perfect timing. So many creeps dying while that turret was alive, and that's really what you want to have happen in that bottom lane. 69 CS to 42, just absolutely incredible play there.
I mean, that amount of gold and XP is equivalent to what? 2-3 kills? That was a big advantage in the game. And actually at top there, Stumpy MP blowing his Ignite onto Jewel Bagel. Now gonna pop the Transcendent Blades as well. Gonna be looking to force out the lane and possibly then go back, because Jewel Bagel has generally been taking an advantage in this lane. He is on 57 CS to Aurelia's 43. She is now starting to hit a point where she can match his damage though. Does have the burst on her, but she also has Equilibrium Strike. He hasn't blown his ult though, so he may be able to get into a situation where he can just straight up kill her. using his ultimate to get away, maybe? Actually, he may have to do exactly that. Nope, he's just about going to survive. Pretty cool, right in front of her face, though. She's going to be aware of that, but not a lot she can do.
And in the midst of all of that, actually, there was a bit of a play in mid lane, forcing Zigalo again to use his Ignite. So his Ignite is going to be down. However, Gragas' Flash is going to be down as well here. So it's basically Flash versus Ignite at this point. And when you're looking at just straight up engages, that's the Ignite be a favor. But
jump in onto Stumpy Umpy. He's landed his Q, he's landed his E, and the red buff and the ultimate will finish him off.
Yeah, that was a really, really nice play there, coming in from the backside. I was trying to talk about two things at once. Apparently, I don't have the devil-infused voice box. I'm thinking so much of... Every time I think about talking about two things at once, I think of The Exorcist, the exorcism of Emily Rose. But either way, I digress from that craziness. Nunu coming in here. Looks like he's going to get caught out by Dejo, who does have red buff to slide forward. Is it going to be enough? Flashing forward as well, so both flashes being used by the supports here. Ezreal, however, using his ultimate. It gets the Ignite off. She's only going to go down here. It looks like one more tick. It's not going to happen. Great heal timing to come up there. And smart play there by Tarek, using that heal just at that last second. I think it just barely came off of cooldown. Chrysanthos is going to get spotted out.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Chrysanthos is going to get spotted out here. CS Steve is chasing him down. However, he's going to opt to go towards that bottom lane. And both of the carries here are going to get away. But no, Zigalo is going to jump onto Chrysanthos. CS Steve moving around here. He's really... And actually, Dejo kind of taunting him there as CS Steve just not getting in range of either one of those characters. Kind of frustrating there, especially when you've got that beautiful, beautiful twisted advance, if you can get in range of anyone.
Yeah, and it looks like they can make a play on Dragon now. They are aware that their opponents don't have the means to fight them right now unless they arrive very quickly. It looks like they might be able to get this Drake at the expense of their own life, though, and Probo going to be having to get out. Oh, breaking vision from Steve there. Didn't manage to get the Twisted Advance as a result. Standing there, a bit of a chump. And meanwhile, Stumpy Uppy actually getting followed up by Jewel Bagel. Yeah, just taken out quickly there. Popped his ghost, ran straight out that reckless swing. I didn't see the engagement before, but I can guess roughly how it went. He didn't blow his ult though, so I'm somewhat surprised actually by that.
Yeah, I think Aurelia was... I think she was just at the point where she was only getting the slow off using her E there, and it did not work out so well for her, as not, like you said, not needing to pop his ultimate. And I don't even think he had the mana to do so, even if he wanted to. But alas, I want to take another peek down here at the bottom lane. It's 100 CS to 70, so you know it really is essentially 2 kills ahead, just in creep score right now for that Graves on top of Ezreal, and he does have an assist under his belt as well, so really taking the advantage there. As you can see, pushing down here on this bottom lane. Still one tower the advantage here for Georgia Tech, and they are up 4,000, now about 5,000 gold at this point. Is a very early point in the game to have this much of a lead. And Probo top lane doing 1-arm push-ups in that brush. Is this going to be another kill on Stumpy Uppy? I believe it's going to be.
And meanwhile, actually, at bottom, CSC gets busted down very quickly by Graves Tower.
And they're continuing this engagement here. Shizoli going down extremely low. The Ignite has happened. Provo gets the kill top lane. Bottom lane again. He's going to pick up that kill with his ultimate. Dejo's going to go down here as well. Zigalo's got the Ignite on him, and he will pick up that kill. Chrysanthos will pick up the kill. Oh my god, Chrysanthos needs to pick up another one. No, he does not, and that's great kiting there coming out from Wentworth on this bot lane, and that's kind of... That's that beautiful play that I was talking about last game about those team fights, when you can trade off to a point so well that you basically got more than one character walking away with next to no health. Just a beautiful, beautiful situation there, and Nunu and Ezreal just, again, walking away with next to nothing and picking up a lot of kills for their team.
Yeah, it's looking really bad though, in spite of that, and all the kills, well, most of the kills, went onto Nunu. In fact, all the kills, every single kill that their team has gone onto Nunu. And Nunu doesn't scale that amazingly with that amount of gold. I mean, especially when he's already on a support's budget and he hasn't got much to build up from that, he's just not going to be able to do very much. He'll have more gold and his team will have more gold as a result, but it's really not who they wanted the gold on. If that had gone onto Ezreal, it would have put him much more on a par with Graves. In fact, probably would have put him to about the same amount of total gold. Instead, he is still, what, 1,000 gold behind? Yeah, about 1,000 gold, 1,200 gold behind. That is not a situation you want to be in, essentially.
And top lane here, actually see Steve moving in for a lane gank. He's just barely out of range there. Oh my lord, this has got to be so frustrating for him on Maokai here. He's been so close to getting these twisted advances off, and the one that he actually had locked in with broken vision. However, in the red side jungle here for blue, looks like Nunu's going to get picked off here. He's got that blue buff, which is going to be transferred over to Graves. And the guy who had the killing spree at the time, the only character with kills, was the support and is the one who goes down here. So getting the shutdown, a little bit of extra gold, plus the 2 assists for Tariq and the Gragas here is going to be a terrible situation for Wentworth, as they are even further behind at this point, now going down to 8,000 gold. Absolutely brutal for a 14-minute advantage.
Yeah, this is just getting further and further out of control right now, and that is not good. They really don't want to be dealing with that. Super hard to come back from this kind of position. Maybe they have a better late game team, but honestly I'm not seeing them reaching it at this point. Unless they can get off a very good engagement here, but they're still stuck up with their tops, doing Irelia and Olaf thing where they fight each other for a very long time. Shizoli actually such an order with CSG taking way out of position. Cassidin jumping straight into the middle of the enemy team, getting bursted down like nothing. And now the case is just not going to be living very long. Taken down very clinically. CSG actually getting away with his life though. Mobility Boot's going to be keeping him trucking. But, and Irelia, meanwhile, has died at top again. And this lane is now also snowballing well out of control. Olaf is going to be a monster. He has double Tauren shield, as well as a Philistone and a Heart of Gold. Very,
A lot of people look at that lane as well as Olaf having a pretty significant advantage early on, and if he takes that advantage, as far as just the kit that he has access to, he can really scale ahead of Aurelia, which he needs to do, otherwise the kit starts to go in favor of Aurelia. So, really good situation for the Olaf now, scaling so far ahead that it doesn't matter. She's always going to get picked up here, however, and that's finally a kill going on to Ezreal. 4th kill of the game, now finally having one away from the support role, which, like you said, being on a support's budget is never a good thing, and really all you're doing when you get kills on support is putting yourself back onto par of a regular character, but typically supports don't need that. They don't need those levels. They don't need that gold. Their kit is really what keeps them in a viable option for a team. They don't need all that extra glitz and glamour, but there is a push coming down here mid lane. Chrysanthos coming in there is forcing out Zigalo and forcing out all these characters here back off that turret, which is going to keep all the turrets alive. They've got 3 for themselves and 0 taken down of their own, so that's really spelling, I think, where the advantage is coming from here. Yes, 4 to 11 kills is nice, but being up in CS by a significant amount, 104 to 140, and these global objectives here. You've got the dragon, second dragon in the game going down right now, and all those turrets is just spiraling out of control here for Wentworth.
Yeah, they are, right now especially Olaf is going to become a presence. He's taken down top tower right now, and it looks like he's actually going to go back up top to stop Aurelia from taking his tower. But he is an incredible presence right now. He is going to be able to tank anything the enemy throws at him. He's going to be able to dive whoever he wants, kill whoever he wants, and he's going to be just so impossibly hard to deal with, while Graves does a lot of damage to anyone he pleases, essentially because Olaf will be so difficult to deal with. In essence, right now, the only play against that kind of thing is to try and single them out, take them out alone, get a pick, essentially. They have to take risky plays, make aggressive pushes without full vision, or they're just not going to come out on top. They're just not going to be able to fight 5 on 5. And actually, Xantros going in with the ultimate splits up the entire team, and then they get picked off one by one by Lee Sin taking down Mene. And then we have Aurelia going down as well. Probo taking a little bit of damage there. He's not too worried, and right now they're just going to be pressuring this tower. They'll be following that up pretty shortly with another one, I suspect. Actually, Ward Jump going into Q, not quite able to get there. 75 gold, not too expensive. And Shizoli is going to be tanking, and I don't know why he just used Shatter, because that decreases his armor. But regardless, they're pressuring his inhib now. this might actually be an opportunity for them to lose a fight, actually, because they've taken quite a lot of damage tanking the tower, and we have CS Steve going in. Somewhat of a do-or-die attempt anyway. Zigolo taking out Tarek. The Nunu going to take out Gragas, actually, scumbagging more kills. Lee Sin goes down and loses his Oracle. That fight actually comes out in their favor. Irelia going for Jewel Bagel. I'm not sure he can really catch him, considering Ghost and Ultimate is up. Gonna pop Shirelia's. He's out of there, bro. But we will be seeing, actually, they're gonna keep chasing this. I don't think this is worth their time, even if they get the kill, and Zigolo goes down to the burst from Jewel Bagel. He is bro-martyring the hell out of this. He is so strong right now. And like I said, just able to tank forever. He might go down, but even if he does, he took out someone and he has delayed the entire enemy team. They could have taken a tower in the amount of time they've taken to kill him. And yes, he goes down. That's cost them dearly, that chase. The amount of time they just used to chase that guy. And in fact, Purple Team could maybe think about making a play on Baron. They're a bit low level for it, but they might be able to do it by juggling the damage between Gragas and Lee Sin. You have the means, I think. Raid boss time. Looks like they're going for it.
Man, all these guys have a jump over that wall, so if there were any wards anywhere but directly on top of that Baron off to the side there, they would have bypassed them, so great job there. Tar's going to come in here, would be giving away the situation, but he's just got the Oracles on, so nice play there. And this is going to be definitely a Baron going down here. CSC has no idea what's going on, no wards on this giving vision here. Probo is tanking this pretty hard, though. He's going down below half health. Smite goes down a bit preemptively. There we go. Casting Baron fight, always fun. Shizoli is going to get in there, looking for the stun. He lands it onto the Maokai, but it's not going to be enough there. Oh my god, the damage coming out of Chrysanthos with that 1Q. Absolutely brutal. Lee Sin, however, is going to be the one to pick up that kill. Double kill with that Resonating Strike coming back online. Always helpful to have the extra damage from the Baron buff, but it looks like they didn't need it, as the positioning was really what did them in. Shizoli going to heal himself up here, tanking this turret. However, I don't think he's going to be able to do it for very much longer. Here comes Aurelia looking for that burst. It's going to land it, and my god, like I said again, all the damage coming up for Chrysanthos on that Q. He's got the Rabadon's death cap, and those barrels are doing so much damage, almost 600 damage on each one of those suckers, so really, really nice to have that alongside, especially with the AoE ability, and when he's got that ultimate to reposition that whole enemy team, like we saw in that earlier team fight. Not needing it necessarily, though. He's walking in here, and they're just going to burst down these turrets yet again. Lee Sin off into nowhere land. CSD getting in there, but Jewel Bagel so tanky, doing so much damage here. Nunu going down. Tater Tot looking for the kill on Dejo. Dejo is just now going to go down, which is going to force Zigolo to go down as well. Unfortunately, it just took them a little bit too long. And Tater Tot actually giving chase here. Jewel Bagel, though, is going to turn things around. And with the belly flop and Lee Sin there to come and make sure that no funny business happens with that follow-up. And that's going to be a really, really nice situation here for Georgia Tech yet again.
Yeah, they are so far ahead right now. They can really screw around and still come out on top. Gragas throwing the barrel at nothing in particular, but honestly right now, I just don't think Aurelia's gonna... Yeah, she's gone down. See Steve going in, last-ditch efforts here, but they are cleaning house, and there is very little that can be done against it at this stage.
Yeah, pretty crazy stuff there. Probo's going to get caught out here by 2 slows, but he's not really taking as much damage as needs to be done to him, and he actually has gone for a pretty offensive build here, Bloodthirster and Wriggles, and the only real resistance he has is on those boots. In comes Tater Tot, trying to do as much poke damage as he can. Probo, though, landing that Resonating Strike, followed by the jump kick. Jewel Bagel wants to lead the charge here as he's just so tanky. Another Ezreal ult, missing absolutely everything here. And that's never a good situation, as a lot of super minions are now piling in to this Nexus. Another wave coming in. Stumpy Uppy is trying to get a kill here. I don't know what happened there, but getting caught out in between 3 characters. Zigolo going down pretty low, being forced to flash away from the axe being thrown out by Jewel Bagel. Lots of action happening here. Another jump forward there by Probo, using that W to get into the fight even more. Olaf's going to pick up another kill. Ezreal, however, in the background, making sure that Graves goes down. More tower shots going off here, and Provo in the background will pick up yet another kill. So much craziness happening. Lee Sin gets picked off. Two characters still in the fray here. Both mid and bot lane carries, however, are here to fight versus just top lane and the support. Is it going to be enough? Jewel Bagel now landing so many auto attacks with the Olaf last stitch effort. Is going to land the axe. Jesus Christ, what is happening right now? Another kill for Olaf. And this is has been the most ridiculous team fighting next to these Nexus turrets. More action happening as the exchanges. It's that factory line effect for both teams essentially right now. Stumpy Uppy finally coming back alive. The only one really to fight for her team right now. Chrysanthos decides that's a good idea to fight, but Sia Steve in the case are back on the case here, chasing out Chrysanthos and Shizoli, who will finally make an attempt to leave this Nexus platform here. Jesus Lord, though, that was a long one.
Yeah, you sound a little bit tired out actually by that. That's the effect of having a spawn pad very nearby, but also having a team that has Baron buff, and also quite good sustain and is far ahead and can stay in for a long time. Yeah, they would essentially Purple's damage was such that they could have killed Blue Team multiple times over, but they ended up coming back to the spawn pad, and only sometimes did they die when they died. And we have Haggis actually coming in over the wall. Case is going to back out, looking like the third inhib down any second now. Chrysanthos could die here actually to Ezreal. He's following up with a fair bit of damage. Graves is still hanging around. They want this inhib. And Maokai goes in onto Lee Sin, gets kicked, losing so much health with that incredibly bursty build. Last Whisper on him now. We have Dead Joe trying to avoid getting focused out by Stumpy Uppy, and succeeding in doing so. Jewel Bagel going for anyone he can reach, but can't really reach anybody. The case slows him down. He's not going to be going anywhere now, and Sigalo manages to get a pick up onto Tarek. And he's going to be running merrily around the place, I suspect, for quite some time. Meanwhile, Dead Joe taking quite a lot of damage here, actually. The case hanging on. Oh, he's not hanging on. He's gone down, and Provo continuing the chase. Zigalo now pretty much out of mana. He can Rift Walk once more, I think, and he does it just about perfectly. Meanwhile, Jewel Bagel actually destroying bases. Hello. And
Provo is actually still a chase here with this Zigalo guy. Chrysanthos finally finds him though and says, that's enough of you using your ultimate to dodge all this stuff. Meanwhile, there's another fight here happening. Jewel Bagel running around here to fight the Aurelia and the Maokai. And the Aurelia is being used, trying to chase down Stumpy Uppy onto that platform. However, that's not going to happen. And however, this is going to be too much damage from the creeps. And Nunu using that ultimate, however, is not going to pick enough creeps. Olaf doing work in the base, and that's a Nexus down. What a crazy, crazy series here. Despite being 20,000 gold ahead, a lot of back and forth happening in that match. Unfortunately, just so much pressure with those creeps and those inhibitors being down. Georgia Tech takes it out, man, and wow, that was a sweat. I really fear for the rest of their division in the CSL if these are the two teams that are rolling in the same bracket there.